SCP-1320, Object Class, Euclid. SCP-1320 is the group designation for an anomalous sapient species native to a roughly 6 square kilometer area of known to be heavily forested and sparsely populated. The species shows a unique ability to refract electromagnetic radiation around their forms. This is most easily identifiable in the fact that light bends around them, rendering them somewhat transparent or reflective, depending on angles. But the refraction extends to all currently tested wavelengths of the spectrum. A side effect of this anomaly is that individuals are able to seemingly appear or disappear when not directly in view. Members of SCP-1320 are not believed to be able to teleport or in any other way shift themselves. They are simply well camouflaged and silent by nature, and are able to utilize their anomalous properties as means of evasion. Primarily, they have utilized such tactics to interfere with any attempts to retrieve specimens, ambushing groups attempting to capture one alive and swiftly removing any of their kind that are injured or otherwise incapacitated. Individuals of SCP-1320 are humanoid in shape, averaging between 2.7 and 3.2 meters in height. Additionally, the distortion effect that surrounds them makes individuals appear to be between 1 and 1.5 centimeters thick. Remote ultrasound imaging has confirmed that the actual physical body is less than 1 micrometer thick. Despite this, individuals have shown a level of physical strength and dexterity roughly equivalent to an average human, save for an ability to shear objects at a near molecular level. It is estimated that the tips of their extremities are narrowed to within a few dozen nanometers and are extremely durable, allowing for this level of sharpness and precision. Typically, members of SCP-1320 are not hostile unless provoked, instead showing an inquisitive nature, with small groups gathering around any type of object that is new to their habitat and studying it thoroughly. This inevitably concludes with individuals cutting the object into successfully smaller pieces, even if it is biological in nature. While they appear to lose interest in specific objects within 3 to 4 days and will largely ignore repetitive stimulus, similar objects that are sufficiently unique will attract their attention anew. For instance, after growing accustomed to Douglas fir trees, Pseudotsuga, they still showed interest in both cedar, cedrus, and pine, pinus species. It is believed that this inquisitive nature is the driving force behind SCP-1320's instincts, as no member of the species has been observed attempting to leave an inhabited area until all new forms of objects have been thoroughly examined. Despite the fact that no light or other electromagnetic waves should be able to permeate their refractive nature, SCP-1320 are observed to be looking at objects using a form of sensory adaptation we have not been able to detect or duplicate. Similarly, members of SCP-1320 have never been observed to make any sort of vocalization, but apparently are able to communicate with one another. To date, SCP-1320 have not been observed to perform any sort of construction or assembly. It is not known whether they do not have the intelligence or desire for such activities, or if they have somehow been able to hide their constructs. Given the fact that individuals have been described as disappearing, even when under direct observation, this has led to great difficulty in tracking them to any type of central nest or housing area. Addendum: Incident 1320-1. On August 17th, a group of D-Class subjects under observation by researcher Grant were introducing new stimulus into the SCP-1320 habitat, which at that time was contained in a steel mesh fence that was just below 2 kilometers on a side. Incident 1320-1 was the first time that SCP-1320 was observed to have any sort of large-scale hostility. Taking the patterns of SCP-1320's behavior, it was confirmed that their assumed territory had expanded to the currently held ranges. Containment procedures were upgraded, and in light of their potential threat, Dr. Kennar put forth an official request to upgrade SCP-1320 to Keter status. The escalated security measures have kept them in check since the single incident, thus increasing their status to Keter has been denied until such time that SCP-1320 demonstrates a continual, active intent and ability to breach containment. 05. Special Containment Procedures. The current known extent of SCP-1320's habitat, as well as no less than a 5-kilometer radius of land from the estimated center, is to be owned by Foundation front companies and observed at all times. A concrete wall, at least 4 meters high, is to be constructed and maintained around the perimeter, and integrated ultrasonic motion detectors are to be placed at 20-meter intervals to monitor for breaches. At least once per week, during a period of inactivity, at least 10 items not previously encountered by members of SCP-1320 are to be introduced into their habitat via airlift, as close to the center as feasible. For a list of items already encountered by SCP-1320, please see Document 1320-4071-A. Should individual members of SCP-1320 be observed leaving the containment area, a general alarm is to be sounded and MTF Chi 41, Ghost Watchers, is to be brought on station to return the individuals to their habitat. Should containment not be possible, Observational Command is to be notified, and currently allocated areas are to be adjusted accordingly.